आवाज़ आना बंद हो गई थी, तो लेट्स डू इट अगेन. आई विल टेक रेहाम खान लाइव अगेन विद मी.
I am so sorry for that. मुझे आपकी आवाज बिल्कुल आना बंद हो गई थी.
That's okay. That's no problem. So
सही है. So we were talking about your book.
I was saying that one personality got highlighted, but actually the book is not about one person. It's about all the people that I've met in my life and who I think that the world should know. So literally it's an effort to educate people about things I did not know and things I did not know about Pakistani society particularly. So I talk about domestic violence. The book begins with domestic violence. It begins with my first marriage. I describe certain things which people do not recognize as violence also. And it's meant to be actually a parent's handbook, but also for young people. कि अगर आपका parent नहीं आपसे ये बात कर रहा, when people say कि ये book बच्चों को नहीं पढ़नी चाहिए, ये book बिल्कुल बच्चों को पढ़नी चाहिए. And my kids are very funny because kids don't listen to lectures. अब मैं शुरू करती हूँ तो they'll say, okay, fine, we'll किस page पे है, we'll read it. And so I did think I wasn't told certain things about men, about politics, about recognizing certain things, and I just have actually it's an expose of me, all the stupid things that I did, all the mistakes that I made, and it's also of course because I have I've been a political journalist, and then I was married into a political family, so it was I've exposed the fact कि हम क्यों vote करते हैं और हम क्या सोच रहे होते हैं, and we have like put our mind like we've turned it off. We do fall for propaganda, which I did. So I can understand that people people were very upset about the book, of course, because there is a cult following, and I can understand that because back a few years ago, if somebody had told me these things about my leader, I would have also said jhoot hai, because the nature of cult following is this, that you fall for the propaganda and you believe he's so honest, he's so simple, and so I can understand that people think Reham has written all lies. I can understand that, but I also know that truth has this amazing ability to prove itself. So right. I didn't think that the book would be the things that I said, that they would go about and prove it within months and years. Like, I mean, into like the first year, everybody, the names that I'd mentioned, they were everywhere. The frauds were coming out. So, how could have I possibly known those things? So people have understood, she was on to something. And for me, it was important to write this down, because had somebody written this a few years earlier, I might not have made those mistakes. I made a huge mistake, an error in judgment. And I just don't want other girls or other people to make mistakes, because these characters, it's not about a few people, it's about our society. Our society behaves like this. For example, Bahir will carry a very religious persona, but in your home you'll be different, and this happens to a lot of girls. For example, the fact that I've talked about Jadoo, I spoke to so many women who said कि मेरे साथ ये हुआ है, and I was like, she said कि यही exactly ये हुआ है. And so it is about recognizing certain things, and it's about how women behave in relationships. It's a bit like an Ashiki 2 kind of situation. आपको सामने नजर आ रहा होता है, and you're like, नहीं, ये उस औरत की गलती है, ये सास की गलती है, ये नंद की गलती है, उसकी गलती नहीं है. Like the husband is like, it's a bit, that is something that is taught to us in our families. कि relationship टूटा है तो लड़की की गलती है, तलाक हुई है तो लड़की की गलती है, and it can't be simply one person. So Bollywood films as well, Karwa Chauth. I mentioned this scene के for me it was Karwa Chauth वाला कि हाय मेरा husband जिंदा रहे, और मैं we grow up on that. We like those scenes for Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gum. We like that scene from Hum Dil De Ke Sanam. and we, this is all that subliminal propaganda where you think, yeah, I also want to do that, even though I'm not a Hindu, you know, but you grow up, you know, you grow up like that कि नहीं husband मेरा, you know, सती परमेश्वर है, you know, मेरा सरताज है. So even educated westernized women have that romanticism in their head.
Okay. This one's interesting. अच्छा, obviously बात है अब जहाँ भी हो, जिस भी इंडस्ट्री में, जैसा भी इंसान हो, दे फेस अ लॉट ऑफ क्रिटिसिज्म. वो कुछ करे भी या नहीं भी करे, ठीक है, कोई ना कोई एक ना एक बंदा 1000 में से एक होगा जो उसको क्रिटिसाइज करेगा फॉर नो रीजन एट ऑल. और ऑब्वियसली आपको भी बहुत क्रिटिसिज्म मिलता होगा, तो हाउ डू यू हैंडल दैट?
Honestly, when I entered media, so I think I've had it a little bit easier than other women, because some women, you know, I was very, I have a few tips actually. एक तो ये कि I think girls come across as very desperate. Not only girls, but generally, I'm talking about sort of sexual harassment and job pe bullying, and you know, women are not treated with the same sort of respect. They're seen as easier to control, but ladkon ke saath bhi hota hai. So again, boiling down to confidence. Look confident, and there's a difference between being confident and hardworking and being cocky and arrogant and badtameez. There is a huge difference. So we don't like youngsters coming to work for us and being very arrogant. Sab kuch pata hai. You know, don't be a Shah Rukh Khan before you become a Shah Rukh Khan. I work with people, hardworking celebrities, और उनका जो work ethic है. I mean, if you work with people like Shah Rukh Khan, they have an extremely focused hard work ethic, and they're extremely humble. काम पे वो हीरो नहीं बिहेव करते, स्टेज शोज पे हीरो बिहेव करेंगे, but they're not arrogant at work. They are polite to people, they're polite to their juniors, and that I think is very important. Having said that, बहुत desperate भी ना दिखो, क्योंकि जब आप desperate दिखते हो, then people will take advantage. And I think this is why it's more important for girls, because you know, I again, coming down to behaving ladylike and sitting a certain way. No, don't be apologetic. Don't be ultra feminine and too feminine. So I was pretty sure, and of course, I was older when I started. You have to understand that when I started working, I was 32. I wasn't, you know, I wasn't an 18, 19-year-old. जब एक 18, 19-year-old या 2-year-old लड़की या लड़का काम करते हैं, तो it is easy to believe them. But I was, and I understood that, you know, I'm not going to sit in anyone's car. I'm not going to work for free. So I wasn't interested in becoming famous. So I set down the rules very early on in life, in my professional life. लेकिन एक बात जो मुझे, so I didn't face any sexual harassment in the UK or in Pakistan, but then I was in a very authoritative position. A young girl who's starting off as a reporter, particularly in Pakistan, will have it a lot more difficult than what I did. Isliye, because for Pakistani girls, so you know, you can't even sit in public transport without being uncomfortable. And when you go for like places like dharnas and jalsas or covering, you know, people come and stand close to you, and people are like, you know, it's very difficult. So I'm such a huge fan of Pakistani young reporters, female reporters, क्योंकि ये इतनी जबरदस्त लड़की है, ये जैसे जाके वहाँ पे काम करती हैं, the misogyny they face, and you know, just standing, I still find it very uncomfortable कि मेरे, you know, इर्द गिर्द मर्द खड़े हों. I find it very, very uncomfortable. I find it threatening. I find it, you know, I'm concerned about कि, you know, कोई touch ना कर ले, कोई and men do that. So I'm a huge, I think कि जितनी इनकी praise की जाए young लड़कियों की, so my advice to you would be कि don't give up, A, और दूसरा ये कि कभी bully मत हो जाएं. Also, I don't believe in networking. I've written about this in the book कि मुझे कभी कोई job इस वजह से नहीं मिली कि मैंने boss को smile करके देखा है या पलकें झपका के देखा है. You don't have to be nice to people. It's your hard work. And office politics also. I have been a victim of office politics, but I didn't engage in them. And women do this against you. Other women do that. Other women do that to cut you out. I literally did not get engaged. And I stuck my head, hard work, just focus, and don't give up. It will be harder लेकिन it is very possible. And you know, if I can do it, I think many women, many younger women are so much better qualified than me. They have family support. I didn't have any of that. But the thing that abhi tak hota hai, you know, which is very disturbing for me, is because, you know, people used to say, "Haan, aapko to job milni thi. Look at you." And I get so upset with that, because literally the first 3 jobs that I got, they didn't even know that I was a woman, because mere naam se bhi nahi pata chalta. And so men have come around, and, you know, jealous men have come around and said, of course, look at you. I mean, like, no, they didn't know I was a woman. They didn't see my picture. I didn't get my job at the BBC because of the way I looked. It was, they didn't know that mard aa raha hai ki aurat aa raha hai when I was shortlisted. So I think ye aapko hoga. Jealous people, insecure people will say कि हाँ, इसको तो job इसकी looks की वजह से मिली है, इसको तो job इसकी. So ignore that. Again, don't care. Success is the best revenge.
The next question is, what do you think about the showbiz industry of Pakistan?
Right.
The actors, the actresses, all of them. The movies.
I had this dream to make our film industry competitive, and I wanted it to be different, you know, original. I made the film Janan with that sort of mindset. You know, we need to encourage actors, directors, a film infrastructure in Islamabad, in KP, away from, मतलब Karachi में तो है, but you know, everybody can't go to Karachi. So that was my ambition. What I think that people are very talented. The showbiz industry in Pakistan is used, but not supported. People have no finance to make films. It's incredibly difficult to find finance for films, for dramas. और उसके बाद फिर एक जो originality है हमारी scripts की, that has been on the decline. Much of it is to do with a post-Zia kind of complex. You know, हर बात में, I don't understand why our actors and actresses, I don't care, आप घर में 50 नमाजें पढ़े. I don't understand why an actor is saying कि जी मैं तो ये नहीं करूँगी because you know ये मैंने इतने कपड़े नहीं पहने, मैंने item number नहीं करा. What is wrong with you? I mean, आप show business में आओ या ना आओ. So I think ये उनके ऊपर pressure है, हमारे बच्चों के ऊपर pressure है. There's a political expectation from them, you know, and they are made to say these things. I see that. I find it कि no, you're an actor, you're a singer, that's your profession. आप मत politics करें. It's bad enough कि politics में religion का इस्तेमाल होता है, पर एक actor जब करे ना, and there's not one person, अब तो trend हो गया है. And I don't get this confusion. I'm not saying that sometimes I think children are definitely confused. You know, because आप देखो, आप acting में अगर आ रहे हो, तो फिर ये confusion नहीं होनी चाहिए. So I think showbiz industry is very confused and is used by certain powerful people, and I think that's not fair. It's the same in India at the moment also, and I think politics और show business को बिल्कुल अलग होना चाहिए. Having said that, हमारी फिल्मों को, हमारे ड्रामों को हमारी कहानियां सुनानी चाहिए. हमारा narrative होना चाहिए. It should not be an Indian version of Pakistani families. I find that's happening. There's a very famous film, I'm not gonna mention because a friend of mine has made it. A couple of films, and they've been very popular in Pakistan, but I found them so irritating to watch. Because you see, if I want to watch that, I will watch an Akshay Kumar film. So don't do an Akshay Kumar in a Pakistani film. I'm not saying about, but I'm just saying promote genuine stories. For example, there's a scene in one film, forgive me for saying this, but I don't know कि किस घर में ऐसे ईद मनाई जाती है आजकल पाकिस्तान में. Which house in Pakistan, in Karachi or Peshawar or Lahore, घर में बर्फी बन रही होती है. I have, so you know, Indians portray us as certain roles. कि they think कि जब पाकिस्तानी Muslim family को portray करना है, तो Indian Bollywood films में से कि जनाब कहाँ चलिए. But nobody talks like that in Pakistan. So I don't understand कि पाकिस्तानी फिल्मों में आपको नहीं पता कि आपकी अम्मी कैसे बात करती हैं और आपकी. So the scripts should be natural and should give you Pakistan edge. I also think that the fact that we have no representation for Netflix is a huge loss for Pakistan. Up now they're talking about banning YouTube as well. This is not the way forward. I mean, we have to compete with the world, and we cannot have Homeland making films and stories about us, or Netflix India making it. We must have our own say, our own people. I know brilliant film producers, documentary producers who do not get finance, and they have no route to pitch their films and their ideas to Netflix, YouTube, to Amazon, to Discovery, and that needs government support. It needs institutional infrastructure support. Also, I think हमारे showbiz के लड़के and लड़कियां, please learn how to dance, please learn how to fight, please. Also, I mean, if you start me about show business, I have a lot of. I'm very critical and very, मैं छोटी-छोटी चीजें notice करती हूँ, जैसे dresses जब ये पहनते हैं. I have no problem with girls wearing evening gowns, perfectly fine. But I really think that there needs to be more PR, more support. हम अपने stars को stars बनाना चाहिए. Turkey में देखें, there's a lot of investment on their stars. Bollywood में आप देखें, लेकिन हम अपने stars को एक तो फजूल कपड़े भेजेंगे, उन बेचारों को प्रोटोकॉल देंगे, उसको जो स्टार ट्रीटमेंट है वो देना चाहिए. देखो आपने, हम मीरा जी के ऊपर अटैक करेंगे, दीपिका कुछ पहनेगी तो ओह शी इज लुकिंग हॉट, बॉलीवुड स्टार इज लुकिंग हॉट, लेकिन आपकी लड़की ने पहना है तो आप कहेंगे हाय इसने ये क्यों पहन लिया. सो देयर इज दिस काइंड ऑफ लाइक क्रैब मेंटालिटी इन पाकिस्तान. अपनों को बुरा कहेंगे. फवाद खान वगैरह when they make in Bollywood they're fine. अपनों को घास नहीं देते, फिर when जैसे कि इंडिया में जाके काम करते हो, भाई आप लोग नहीं सपोर्ट नहीं करते हो. आज तक कोई भी स्टार जो बना है वो इंडिया इसलिए जाता है बिकॉज आप लोग उसको लिफ्ट ही नहीं कराते हो. वहां पे जो पीआर है उनका और जो सेलिब्रिटी ट्रीटमेंट दी जाती है वो बहुत अच्छी दी जाती है. We have to promote our stars and we've done it for years. Lollywood को हम बेइज्जत करते रहे हैं. They were catering to a certain industry. So I mean I have huge issues, a lot of criticism, and honestly all the young stars who are working in our showbiz industry, इनको hats off to them. कि वो बेचारे कैसे कोप कर रहे हैं इन हालात में. They're very cool kids. Some of them are really cool kids, but I really want to see them in nice dresses, lots of PR. I want the sort of paraphernalia that's given to Bollywood, and I want better scripts, better lifestyles for them, because I genuinely believe we have a lot of talent, but it is कभी पॉलिटिक्स, कभी इस्लाम, कभी इंडिया पाकिस्तान. इसको प्लीज माफ रखें हमारे बच्चों को इससे, please.
And do you think that the women in the showbiz industry face like a certain barrier as compared to men? उनको कोई मतलब to like for establishing their careers, do they face a certain barrier?
Definitely.
Do you think it's easier for the men?
No. Not anymore. I think sexual harassment for men and women in all film industries, all showbiz industries, in fact other media also, but because I have more knowledge about politics and media, isliye keh rahi hu. But it's true in lawyers associations also say this to me, bankers also say this to me. I think media mein there is, and I say this only because I can say this, because Pakistan में बहुत से लड़के have to drop out because there is a lot of sexual harassment and towards boys, or they face it. लड़कियों की तो definitely है, and I think it's the reason it is more easy to get away with it in Pakistan is because you see Bollywood for example या Hollywood जो है, it's a huge industry. So अगर आपका एक प्रोड्यूसर ने तंग किया, एक डायरेक्टर ने सेटअप तंग किया, सारी इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर आपके अगेंस्ट शायद ना हो. पाकिस्तान में लॉबी बहुत छोटी है सक्सेसफुल. देयर इज ओनली 2 लॉबीज दैट आई नो ऑफ कि जो कराची में सक्सेसफुल फिल्म्स बनाती हैं. लॉबीज में इसलिए कह रही हूँ, आई एम नॉट अटैकिंग एनीवन पर्सनली, बट आई एम सेइंग कि द फिल्म इंडस्ट्री इन पाकिस्तान इज मच स्मॉलर. सो अगर वहां पे एक को आपने कैंसिल कर दिया है ना, तो वो सोशल नेटवर्क की वजह से इट इज क्वाइट लाइकली कि दैट गर्ल और दैट बॉय विल देन हैव नो होप. इट विल बी वेरी डिफिकल्ट फॉर देम. इंडिया में या हॉलीवुड में अगर एक डायरेक्टर या एक प्रोड्यूसर के साथ आपको प्रॉब्लम होगी तो इट विल बी मे बी someone else might give you a chance. क्योंकि कराची में बहुत ही मतलब हमारी फिल्म इंडस्ट्री इन relative terms बहुत छोटी है. So girls and boys come and tell this to me, say this to me, we've had to give up our careers. Drama maybe. I remember a youngster coming up to me and my set designer telling me at the time कि these are the demands, casting couch की बातें. और फिर also I think एक और जो बहुत बैरियर लड़कियों के लिए वो यही है जो मैंने आपको बताया कि अगर वो बेचारी हमारी सोसाइटी पाकिस्तान में इतनी कंजर्वेटिव नहीं है जितनी हम टीवी पे दिखाते हैं. Some of the dramas I see and I think कि कौन लोग हैं ये कौन सी कॉलेज यूनी है. आप तो कॉलेज यूनिस को जाके देखें पाकिस्तान में माशाल्लाह काफी मेट्रोपॉलिटन सिटीज में इस्लामाबाद कराची लाहौर में they are very forward thinking. So drama में आके then you put certain and films में भी कि देखा उसने क्या पहना तो देखा उसने क्यों डांस किया तो तुम क्यों जा रहे हो. if you have a problem with it ना जाओ फिल्में मत देखो. जो फिल्में देखने भी जा रहे हैं and this is a huge problem लड़कियों के ऊपर ज्यादा like I said in the beginning कि वो इंटरव्यूज में भी मैं सुनती हूँ तो इंटरव्यूअर्स और मैं इनको पर्सनली जानती हूँ मीडिया लाइफस्टाइल्स में and this question should not be asked कि आपने ये फिल्म क्यों रिफ्यूज की बॉलीवुड की आपको हॉलीवुड से इसलिए क्योंकि ये करना पड़ा था. Why are we saying that? We are putting barriers on our women particularly. We are trying to और अगर कोई breaks those barriers तो हम उसको फिर shaming करने शुरू हो जाते हैं. तो ये नहीं होना चाहिए. I think female के लिए ज्यादा प्रॉब्लम है पाकिस्तान में.
This question is related to you. Right now, what are you the most proud of? कुछ भी life में कोई भी achievement, anything.
Right now and always, like right now इसलिए because they're all grown up now. I'm very proud of my messy children because I think that they've turned out to be amazing human beings, and I'm very proud of. I was very scared that how will I be as a mother, and they are just amazing human beings. And I'm not saying it because मेरी बड़ी बात सुनते हैं, मेरी बात बिल्कुल नहीं सुनते हैं actually, लेकिन they are good human beings. They are not racist and not sexist. बड़ी जबरदस्त तीनों feminist है. बेटा मेरा सबसे बड़ा feminist है. They are very loving human beings. They are also very happy people. Like उनमें they're like happy, well contained, and I think I'm very that's the source of pride in my life. And when I meet people who don't know कि ये मेरे बच्चे हैं, that I've been in functions where people have been praising my son, not knowing कि मेरा बेटा है वो, and that
will always be your biggest achievement.
Yeah, I mean that's the only. I see that as that was when I always wanted to be a mother. I didn't probably want to be married, but I always was a mother figure in my family, and I love babies. I love children. I love noisy houses with children. So I enjoyed being a khala a lot and a cook. And then I had my own kids. So yeah, I wanted to be. I've always wanted to. Parenting I think has been a privilege for me. It has been. It's a gift, and they've turned out extremely well. I don't think it's because of my parenting, but that's the source of happiness in my life are my kids.
एक last question है आपके लिए, that is, what would be the message? Like, what message would you like to give to the women of today's era?
Don't give up. Don't give up. Like what I said in the beginning, people will say this to you, okay, why I say don't give up. मैं book में भी लिखती हूँ कि my mom was a lot more competent, intelligent, educated than me. Lekin the thing which is such a shame, I feel, that there are women who think they can't do it. Courage की मुझ में और तुम्हें सिर्फ एक फर्क है, वो ये है कि मैं डरती नहीं हूँ. I'll be like, okay, we have to do this. I don't know how to do it. I'll open the door and I'll step out and do it. And I think that's, it's not even cliched to believe in yourself. Nahin, you can do anything that you put your mind to it. You can do anything. There is nothing that a woman cannot do. Uh, you know, there are a lot more opportunities for women. So agar koi kahega na, you can't do it. You know, ye masla hoga. No, don't take that. If you want to do it and you're focused on it, you can do it. It can be anything. So ye jo courage ki kami hai, कॉन्फिडेंस की कमी है, वो उसको हटाएं. कैसे? Literally, डरते डरते. It's not that I was always so brave. Every time you do a little bit of a brave act, you become braver. तो brave होना, थोड़ा सा brave हो. You know, जब आप एक brave act करेंगे, then you will become braver. आप खुद अपना courage develop करते हैं. लोग तो आपको कहेंगे, ये मत करो, मीडिया में मत जाओ, ये होता है. You know what's इस तरह तो फिर then you should never actually leave the house, because घर से निकलोगे तो जाहिर है you can, there are problems, बिजली गिर सकती है, you can get run over by a car, तो फिर आप मतलब बेड से ही ना निकलें सारी जिंदगी. that's the safest place. लेकिन मौत, इंजरी बेड में भी हो सकती है. so you know, don't be scared, just go out there and do it, and don't think कि ये मर्द मुझसे ज्यादा ब्राइट है तो इससे बड़े भाई से इंफॉर्मेशन लूं, अंकल से इंफॉर्मेशन लूं. नहीं, you have your own brains, figure it out, just go out there. That's my message.
All right, that was it for our question. Thank you so much for giving us your time. And I'm sorry once again for the delay.
Not at all. Not at all. I've had too many coffees because of you. I've had like lots of coffee because of you. But that's fine. It's on you.
Thank you. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz. No.